Okay, so this is the Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and I've played around with it a little bit, and I'm pretty excited. This is just a title page for the default adventure that they have that's loaded up here ready for you. They just let you play around with it. So you've got basic draw tools over here. Basically it's the same layout as Roll20 pretty much, just a lot smoother and slicker. The important difference is that it's hosted locally. So you can host it online, but you also have the option to host it on a local computer, which means if you're playing at your house, your local network, there's no need to get the internet involved, so everything can run a lot faster. So I've got the GM mode up here, and then I've logged in as a player up on this screen. That's the player login there. So I will just activate the title page. So if you want to switch pages, you just go like that. And now I can see Anastasia is the player, is on that page. You can move individual players to individual pages if you need to, which is very cool. Now Anastasia sees that. So basically you've got chat, encounter tracker, different scenes, characters, items, journal with notes, rollable tables, jukebox, monster information, and like loadable modules and settings. So in the characters, I've set up a half-elf bard here. If I want to put in a new character for my player, and then I've got a starter heroes thing here, and they've got all these pre-made for you. So let's put in the half-elf warlock. Import. There's Tristan. All the stats are loaded up. Inventory's got starting equipment for a warlock. All of the features are there. It appears to be a this seems to be a great old one, I think. Anyway, Eldritch Blast and Mage Hand, Charm Person. There's all the spells. Open those up and tell you what they do. There's no biography, but you could put that in if you wanted to. So now Tristan's in the game. All I need to do is, let's see, how do I do this? Configure permission, Anastasia owner. So now Anastasia owns this, and if we jump back to Anastasia, Anastasia's got Tristan. She can go through. Now in terms of rolling, it's all just done like this. So you click on the attribute, ability check, normal roll. There it is. I haven't figured out how to roll the spells yet. There must be a way to do it though. Oh, there we go. Just press the button there. And then it hangs out in the chat, so if you need to do it multiple times, it stays there for you. And then if you need to put that in the chat so everyone can see it, that puts the spell description in there for you. And these also, you can move these any way you want to, so you can keep them nice and tidy. You can also shrink and grow them. Pretty sure. Maybe not. Oh yeah, there we go. There seems to be a minimum size, which is fair enough. So, back to, that's all in the player screen. Back to the GM screen. So I want to get my players started. So I'm going to get them started on the coastal road, but first I need to tell them what to do. So I'm going to go, tell them what's happening. So I go to the journal entries in the adventure notes. Here's the prologue. It's all there. Okay. Alright, what are we doing first? Trouble in Knotside. So we start with this. You're travelling on the road, in the middle of the road, and it's got all the text here for you to read. It's got the monsters there that are coming up, and they're all automatically, we'll interpret that with the rich text, natural language processing, and be like, okay, I'll pull that up. So you can get the character sheets up really easily. And then it tells you what scene this is attached to as well. So, what I'll do is I'll go over to the coastal road here. You can see the map's loaded up already. We've got some invisible people who are going to enter the encounter later. This is the town militia. And then we've got these bunch of revelers. The plot of the adventure is they're all like addicted to this new wine at the winery or at the tavern, and so you have to go to the distillery and destroy the distillery that's making the addictive spirits. So the player still can't see this, but we can. So we're going to go ahead and put it there, and then we'll go to our characters and say we'll put Tristan in there, and then we'll go, okay, time to run this. Activate. A few things are going to happen now. So it should... Oh no, there's no music on this one. We'll get to that later. So they see this, and then these guys are going to attack because they're all addicts and they're just fighting people because they're mean. So how do we start a combat? Well, selection tool. Oh, firstly, so Anastasia can now see her two characters, can move them around, but we are the GM right now. So let's start a combat. Here we go. Select everyone, right click, press the little combat icon, go to the combat, there they all are. Okay. Actually, I think I already had that set up from last time, so let me do that again for you. Now I'll go in here so you can see it happening. So, selection tool. Select everyone, right click, enter combat, they all in there. You can roll initiative individually. Now what Anastasia can see is just herself and her characters, so she can roll as a 16, good job, and I'll pull this in for you. There's a 5 for Tristan, not so good. Over here, I could roll these individually if I wanted to, or I can just roll all, puts them all in, automatically sorts them. Geronimo's going first, good job Geronimo. So, Anastasia is going to look at Geronimo, double click for the character sheet if you need it. Spellbook, we're going to do Hideous Laughter on one of these guys. So, Hideous Laughter, post that in the chat so the DM can see it. Oh, here we go. Just click on the roll, press cast. Okay, and then in the chat, pops up there. Save. I don't know who is saving on this. Oh. So. Yeah. So now, I think if I click on this guy, right, select this guy, one or more controlled tokens. Oh, I'm in Anastasia's screen, sorry. So let's say we cast Hideous Laughter on this guy. And it just rolls the wisdom save for that guy. Didn't need to go in and click on anything, I just click on where it pops up on the spell here. If it was on 2 people, there we go, that one got a natural 20, so that one passes. Actually, they both passed, they both got more than a 13. So that's 2 successes. So, Jerome has wasted their turn, so they're just gonna... Oh, and now we want to move Jerome. So, how do we know how far Jerome can go? Well, Jerome has a movement speed of 30 feet, so what we're going to do is go to our ruler here, click and drag, shows you the squares, there's 30 feet. I think Jerome's going to go hide behind this wagon, and so... Oh, but we can't go through the wagon, we need to go around it, so I think what we need to do is go to... Right, there's a way to do this. I can't remember how to do the pin drop. But anyway, if you go there and then press the spacebar, it does the movement automatically, nice and smooth. Now Jerome's hiding there. Okay, so back to the GM options, and who have we got next? Now, how do we know which of the not side revealers it is? Well, we hover over it and it highlights it for us. Click on it and it'll center. So this guy, 30 feet of... he's just a commoner, pretty much. But what he can do is use a club. So, he's going to run up to Tristan. So we'll get our ruler out. 30 feet, spacebar. Oops. And then his club, put that in the chat. It's a little bit clunky to do this for the first time, but after that you can do it for every single one, so it's a lot easier. Normal attack on Tristan. He gets a 20, so I think that's gonna hit Mr. Tristan here. armor class of 13. Yes, it definitely does. So we're going to go ahead and roll damage on that. Oh, so it's already here. Damage, normal, 2 damage. So Tristan can do this himself, or I can do it for him, but we'll have Anastasia do it because she's playing Tristan. So just, oh, you don't need to double click, you just right click down here, put in the new number, automatically updates the health bar there, updates it for every single player. Now we know that there's been a hit happen. Who's next in initiative? This guy. He's going to do the same thing. Oops. Oh, I need to go to the ruler tool. Move 15 feet. And what's he got in terms of his abilities? Is that the right one? Oh, it looks like these are the same guys with different tokens. Yeah, they've just got different tokens to differentiate them a little bit for the players. So we'll just do another club attack. And you can turn off all these, like you can turn off all of this stuff in the settings and just do a default attack, but it's kind of nice to have it there if you need it. That's a 10, so that's going to miss. Okay, who's next? Should also mention you can switch between, oops, I don't know why that's happening. Oh, these are the macros. So down here you can assign macros, which relate to specific commands, and they relate to the number keys. So if I press 2, then whoever I'm selecting, oops, if I'm in the main area and I press 2, whoever I'm selecting will roll a dexterity saving throw, for example. I think you can set these up for weapon attacks as well. I just haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, so that's the basics of the combat. A few other things that I've noticed you can do. This one here lets you choose multiple targets if you've got a multiple target spell, like that. Or you can shift click to select multiple people. Say if you're doing like a slow spell, you need to select a bunch of people, for example. Alternatively, you've got in the ruler tools here, this circle measurement is really cool. So you can really easily measure a sphere space. That's going to be the radius there that's being measured. And then it'll show you the blocks once it drops. And then I actually don't know how to delete those. I think you just oh, there we go. And the players can do that as well. So players have access to that. So if you wanted to do a fireball, this one lets you measure a cone. And this one lets you measure a cube, obviously. And this one measures a blast, a line. What does this do? Toggle notes display. I don't know what that does. Anyway. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I figured out so far. Oh, and I'll show you the other thing I'll show you is the dynamic lighting. That's the really cool part of this. So, on the GM screen, if I want to go to the Red Claw Distillery now, so here it is. This is a pretty crazy map. Lots of stuff going on. There's hidden monsters, there's visible monsters, all kinds of crazy shenanigans. Oh, that's another thing. If you need to change the visibility of a monster, just right click on them and just literally toggle visibility. Super easy. You can do it for a whole block of monsters. Just go like that, toggle visibility. Now, something else here. I've been playing around with this a little bit already. Our friends Geronimo here. So when I'm just selecting the regular area, I can see the whole map. As soon as I, as the GM, click on Geronimo, I see what Geronimo sees. Incredibly easy way to make sure that your players aren't seeing stuff they're not supposed to see. I can select all these guys and be like, okay, they need to be invisible to Geronimo, and then I click on Geronimo. Actually, I still see those, but I don't see the dynamic lighting. I will go ahead and activate this scene. The music starts automatically, so you can see there's a distillery music, and that's now playing. And then for Geronimo here, the dynamic lighting is working perfectly. It's updating very quickly. It's all set up nicely. becomes a combat encounter, right? I can select all this noise, go add to encounter. There's probably a keyboard shortcut for this one, I haven't figured it out yet. Roll initiative for everyone. There we go, that's all set up. Then, later, say if Geronimo runs over here, wherever there's other people, yeah, so Geronimo comes into this room, then I can be like, okay, cool, 1, 2, 3, right click, add to encounter, there they are at the bottom, roll initiative, they're now in the initiative order. So you can really easily add and subtract people from the initiative order throughout the encounter. Similarly, if people leave, just remove them from the initiative order. Doesn't remove them from the game, just knocks them out of initiative. Really nice. So that's pretty much what I figured out how to do. I'm already liking this a lot. I think it is pretty much better. Oh, there's all the dynamic lighting as well. Another thing that this has that Roll20 doesn't is doors that just are automatically set up so that they can be walked through, but not let light through. What do we got here? What's this? It's a custom sprite. Drawing tools are really nice. Nice smooth drawing. Nice polygon drawing there. Text tool, you can like draw big text if you need to. What? Oh, that's cool. Wait, so I can come over here and I can go, anyone in this area hears a specific audio. Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So we've got notes here. So you can see which areas relate to which parts of the map, and if you double click on that, it brings up. Oh, I did not know that was a thing. That is awesome. So in this view, as soon as they come into the place, there's all the information about that area. It's all set up there. You just double click and it tells you what happens in that space. That's very cool. I did not know that was a thing. I'm just learning this now. There are weasel things in this adventure. Okay. I did not know this adventure had giant weasels. There they are. This is really cool. I'm going to use this in future. It's totally awesome. I'm a really big fan. I'm enjoying it a lot.